I'm Alex Moore on behalf of That Nerd Show, and we are here at the first annual Women's Texas Film Festival. Right now I'm here with the makers of Ball is Life, and being a hardcore basketball fan myself, it was the first thing I watched when I was getting the little screeners. I had to see it first and get my basketball fix in the off season, although we had the Olympics. But okay, so let's talk about the inspiration for this little tale, because it's kind of an interesting story.
Yeah, I wrote the story's very personal to me because I actually have a daughter who's in sports, and I'm always pushing her, coaching her. So it was really a sort of a biopic in a sense, a little over exaggerated, but I always think of how how that would be if she was in that situation, and kind of where the story just came from. And I'm definitely a sports fan, and I love sports movies, and so that's really what I wanted to make.
Right. Now, how did you come along with this from the production side? I mean, did you already know Terry ahead of time? And
yeah, me and Terry had a couple classes together, but him being a graduate student and me an undergrad, I was like, when he asked me to produce it, I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Was there something in particular about the story idea itself that grabbed you in a sense?
Well, I used to be an athlete in high school, and I played select ball year-round, so I definitely know about the basketball side. And then the other side I never really experienced. It happened to a couple of friends of mine in high school. So, but if it happened to me, I have no idea what decision I would have made.
Yeah. It's difficult. And I know, to me, it seemed like there was sort of an open ending to the whole thing, where you don't necessarily know exactly what the decision was, but you see her moving on, and that's kind of during the closing credits, whatever she chose to do, she's moved on. She's still pursuing her dream.
Yeah.
But the thing I found most interesting about this was that this is a single dad with a daughter. And, so oftentimes we hear the story about single moms with a son, but we don't see this one very often. And so I was very interested in that sort of a twist. Was this something personal as well? Or?
Well, a little personal, and also I like playing with like race and gender roles in most of my work. And like you just said, you always see stories told from a certain perspective, and I wanted to tell the story from a different perspective. Because if you look at a lot of sports movies in general, they never talk about the woman's side of sports. And there's tons of women athletes out there. And when I was writing this, I was researching like if there was, and I really didn't find much other than like documentaries. So that's why it was really like personally important for me to make this.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're going to go down to our last question here, and since we are That Nerd Show, with this being a big year for nerds with Star Trek and Star Wars, we're asking everybody that we can possibly ask, if you could be involved, which would it be, Star Trek or Star Wars, and why?
That's a tough one. I guess I would say Star Wars. Just because I never watched Star Trek other than like the new J.J. Abrams movies. So like everybody's seen Star Wars. So I'd say Star Wars.
Definitely the same. I grew up with Star Wars. My dad and mom were really big Star Trek fans, so.
Okay, so you kind of chose to go the other direction.
And also, awesome. Star Trek doesn't have lightsabers. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I really enjoyed the little film you guys made, and I appreciate that. And good luck to you, and thank you for being here and talking to us.